Texas Motor Speedway might just be NASCAR's most sketchiest track, and the second most sketchiest thing on the NASCAR schedule might just be Texas Motor Speedway's pit road because what was that? Hello everybody, my name is Brody. Welcome to the channel. Hope you're having a wonderful day. I just got done watching the NASCAR Cup Series race at Texas Motor Speedway, and for Texas Motor Speedway standards, they might have just set the new standard for the strangest race probably this season. No doubt in my mind. We had so much go on in places you would never expect, in places you would expect. We had 4 solo spins, KOing cars, crashing out the leader. We had cars DNFing on pit lane because they ran into each other. It was all over the map, all over the board, while at the same time, we had some predictability, and the eventual race winner was a dominating one. So, we're going to spend the bulk of this race review really breaking down what transpired during the big events of the race. We're going to highlight the cautions that occurred and then the pit lane chaos. So, what this will entail, we'll cover the race winner to begin and how this winner eventually got to victory lane, and then we'll cover the what the F driver of the race with the what the F team of the race, followed by my drivers of the day. We'll highlight all of that, and then we'll cover the race results and where everybody else finished. And then we'll wrap up with my final verdict and opinions. All right, sound good, guys? Sound good? All right, I'm very excited. Let's dive into this Texas Motor Speedway race review for the Cup Series. The winner of the NASCAR Cup Series race at Texas Motor Speedway is Chase Elliott from Dawsonville, Georgia. The number 9 car goes back to victory lane for the second time this season. This is Chase Elliott's 23rd career Cup Series victory, and this is his second career win at Texas Motor Speedway. And honestly, guys, I'm being completely honest. I did not expect this whatsoever from Chase Elliott, from Chevy, from Hendrick, at all. Chevy has obviously had a new Camaro Z01 body. And coming to a track like Texas Motor Speedway, where obviously a bigger size track, aerodynamics play a lot bigger and crucial role with these cars. So it's not a Martinsville, it's not a Bristol. Chase Elliott won at Martinsville. I think that was because the Camaro, the new body, can kind of hide. It can mask. It's more so the engine, not the body. Aerodynamics don't matter as much as Martinsville. So I can see that from Chase Elliott. He has speed, pace at Martinsville. That's great. But coming to a track like Texas, I was like, okay, I'm going to expect some Toyotas, maybe a Ford or two, and Chevy will kind of be, back half the top 10. I was completely proven wrong. Immediately, Carson Hocevar got the pole. Spire Motorsports lockout on the front row. But going back to Chase Elliott now, he qualified 14th. So I was not under the impression Elliott or any of the Hendrick camp was really going to be in contention for the win. I was proven wrong. He qualified 14th. Throughout the course of stage 1, he gradually made his way forward. In stage 1, beginning of stage 2, there was so much that occurred with strategy, guys staying out on old tires, taking 2 tires, and Elliott and Hamlin and the other dominant cars taking 4 tires. There was so much that happened, so many cautions, so many incidents, so many calamity on pit road. Through all the smoke, through all the chaos, Elliott emerges as the dominant car, as the fastest car. He takes control of the lead in stage 2, and once he got that lead, he never relinquished it. He put on an absolutely dominating performance once he took control of the lead. He won stage 2 and leads a total of 87 laps on the day, which is the most out of any driver in the field. And once he took that lead, he never let it go and was in full control domination mode. Stage 3. Beginning of stage 3, all the way until we got that caution with 11 laps to go. Elliott was in control. I was under the impression no one was going to catch him because Clean Air was so dominant today and there was so little passing for the lead. And if you have a semi-decent car out front, Doesn't matter what lap traffic you're in, what kind of horsepower you have in the hood. If you're in second place, you're not going to get around that leader. Chase Elliott played his cards to perfection, and eventually he gets the checkered flag and wins. But he did come over a little bit of drama with 11 laps to go. He was set and sail, saw the checkered flag, just 11 more laps until we get a caution, which sets us up for a 4-lap shootout, sprint to the finish. Did I think there was any chance whatsoever that we would have a winner other than Chase Elliott? Maybe a little bit. I don't know, but maybe like 1% of me. And maybe about 15% once I saw the jump Denny Hamlin got. I honestly thought he jumped the restart at that point. But the bottom lane is so dominant at Texas Motor Speedway on these restarts. Hamlin could have had another half a car, and I still think Elliott would have emerged victorious. But Elliott holds off Hamlin the entire length of stage 3 and that final restart. Chase Elliott definitely earned and deserved this win, no doubt in my mind. I did think Hamlin had the faster overall car, but I mean, this race was so topsy-turvy. You really didn't know who had a fast car because track position was so dominant today. Nevertheless, Chase Elliott played his cards correct, played them as good as you can play them, and winds up victorious at Texas Motor Speedway. So Chase Elliott has a great day, great points day, 69 points on the day, gets the fastest lap point as well, and he now moves up to third in the points. He surpasses Ryan Blaney in the 12, and he is very close behind Denny Hamlin for second place. Everybody's a long way from Tyler Reddick, but Chase Elliott, the consistent dominance he normally showcases, is back again in 2026. So well done for Chase Elliott, Alan Gustafson, the entire number 9 team in Hendrick Motorsports. I think Chevy might have found something with this new body. I really do think it's trending in the right direction. I don't think it's there yet, even with Toyota. I think they've surpassed Ford at this point. I think they're on par with Ford or just a tick better. They're still lagging behind Toyota, but I do think Chevy is on the right track, and it's proven with Chase Elliott getting his second win of the season. So once again, congratulations to Chase Elliott on the victory at Texas. Okay, let's jump into the craziness we saw at Texas Motor Speedway. I don't know which to start with, the what the F driver of the race or the what the F team of the race. I think it'd be easier. Let's just start with the what the F driver of the race. And it's more so not the what the F driver of the race. It's more so the what the F place or collection of drivers. I'll leave it up to you guys. But the what the F driver of this race is Texas Motor Speedway pit road, because I think this pit lane was the sketchiest part of the track, minus turns 3 and turns 2. Or excuse me, all the turns of Texas Motor Speedway. But pit lane itself was chaos, absolute chaos. So stage 1 ends and everybody comes down pit lane. We did have some mix up of strategy. This did play a role in what happened. So a lot of guys stayed out on old tires, took 2 tires. Eric Jones wins the stage. So there's a lot of guys on fresher tires and a lot of on older tires. So there's a lot of cars on pit lane. That's just what I'm trying to say. We're coming down pit lane, and Fox cuts away to the race off pit road and blah, blah, blah. And then we see carnage, absolute chaos. Let's start with the first and more minor incident. So Chase Briscoe was ahead of the 5 of Kyle Larson at this point during the race. So he is sitting in his pit box. He leaves his pit box first, and Larson has a pit box just in front of Chase Briscoe. Larson's coming to his box, but there was a miscommunication with the spotter, crew chief, driver error, whatever it was. Briscoe leaves his box. Larson's entering his box. They make contact, and it's a bigger impact than you initially thought. And this ultimate impact ruined Chase Briscoe's race. I think he had a top 3 car. I honestly did. He had a top 3 car, but that contact to the right front ruined the splitter, ruined the fender, the aerodynamics of the car. It was done after that point. So Briscoe is basically essentially done on pit lane because he had a horrible rest of the race. Kyle Larson did have some door damage and more hit the wheel well than anything, but Larson was pretty much fine. Now let's get to the big instance. So, like I said, pit lane, calamity, lot of cars. So Joey Logano has completed his service. There was some miscommunication about 2 tires, 4 tires, what are we doing? So Logano leaves his box kind of confused, in more of a rush than he would be. He comes out of his box and he goes to the bottom lane. He already has a car to his outside, so he has to stay tucked to the bottom lane. I don't know if Logano is looking at his dashes, at what, trying to get up to speed, monitor his speed level. But regardless, there's a car stopped right in front of him in the middle of the pit lane. Cole Custer puts it in park, puts it in neutral, and is just has his feet up relaxing. He's trying to get to his box, but he's already overshot his box. He has no chance in making his box with a legal pit stop, so he just stops in the middle of pit lane. Logano hits Cole Custer on pit lane, and it looks like Logano was in a high-speed crash. He breaks the entire wheel assembly on the left front. Logano's done a DNF on pit lane just because of that, because Cole Custer is stopped in the middle of pit lane. At first, I'm like, okay, well, did Logano, was he lackadaisical? Was he sleeping behind the wheel? And if I find the picture, I'm trying to visualize in my mind. The second angle, Cole Custer was way too far out in the middle of pit road. I thought he was kind of like on the white line of his box with the left side tires kind of touching the outside perimeter of the box. No, he was way out there in the middle of pit lane. So Logano, I don't think he had anywhere to go. He could have swerved and hit the outside car and a lot more contact, but at the same time, what are we doing? What are we doing? This I could not believe what I saw. There was so much chaos on pit lane. I think that's the most chaos we've seen in one pit cycle, maybe ever. Maybe ever. We had 2 DNFs on pit lane. Cole Custer DNFs too. Logano DNFs, and Briscoe is car's junk the rest of the day. So basically 3 cars out of the race on a pit stop. A pit cycle. What a crazy turn of events. I couldn't believe it. I didn't know what we're doing. I don't know. Cole Custer, maybe he could get his own what the F driver of the race, honestly. And Kyle Busch can sneak into the what the F driver of the race, because that last lap shenanigan, whatever he was trying to pull, that was I'm not going to say anything, but that was ridiculous. That was ridiculous. I'm going to make an own video on that incident alone. So if you're looking for that coverage, tune in later, but I will make a video on that wreck alone. But anyways, that was the pit road instance, the pit road shabacle, shenanigans. I don't know what we're doing. But all right, let's move on now to the what the F team of the race. And the what the F team of the race is Joe Gibbs Racing. So Joe Gibbs Racing, I honestly thought in stage 1, I was like, the race is over. The race is over. Joe Gibbs Racing versus the field at this point, because Christopher Bell was the fastest car. I think he had the fastest car. Denny Hamlin had the second fastest car. Chase Briscoe had the third fastest car. And I think Ty Gibbs had a top 5 car. So I honestly thought the race was over. I'm like, the race is over. We're not going to get much action. It's going to be a typical Texas Motor Speedway race with some solo spins, and that's about it. In comes Todd Gilliland in the number 34. He is the first solo spin of the race. He spins out, and lo and behold, he spins out right in front of Christopher Bell and Denny Hamlin. C. Bell, nowhere to go, tries to gas it up at the last second, and Todd Gilliland just barely clips Christopher Bell, and he can't save it at all. No chance. Slams the outside wall on the front straightaway. Car's done on impact. Done. Broke all the toe links. All the toe links looked broken. The right side was completely destroyed. Christopher Bell out of the race so early in stage 1. And then on the pit stops, Chase Briscoe, he clips Larson, like I said. So Briscoe's done. And then later, Ty Gibbs gets spun out by Ryan Preece. He hits the outside wall. He's done with DNF. So the dominant team of the race, stage 1, I'm like, it's over. It's done. Joe Gibbs Racing supremacy is here. It's alive and well at Texas Motor Speedway. And by stage 2, it's done. It's done. Denny Hamlin is the lone survivor, the lone wolf left in the race, and he puts up a valiant effort to try and hold off the rest of the horses out in the Cup Series field. But it was to no avail. Elliott gets the win. It was nuts. I could not believe the turnover this team had in such a short span. So they had to be the what the F team of the race, because what a just unfortunate circumstance in such a short amount of time. But alrighty, guys, that's the what the F segments of the race. Let's move on now to my drivers of the day, and each of these drivers has a bit of a story to tell. So let's dive in. So my drivers of the day all have their comeback story I want to briefly tell. So let's begin with our first driver of the day, Daniel Suarez in the number 7. He deserves it. He started second, and once the green flag fell, I mean, he dropped like a rock, was outside the top 20 very quickly, and on a track that's so aero dependent, so proficient at needing clean air to be anywhere successful, needing that track position. He clawed all the way back, and the last restart went very well for him, and he winds up getting a 6th place finish. So I'm just really happy for Suarez overall. There was a lot of off-season drama leaving Trackhouse and Zillot's replacing him and Suarez not getting the most out of his equipment. But here he is beating all the Trackhouse cars yet again this season, doing it in a Spire Motorsports car. So I'm just really happy for Suarez overall for putting these performances up. So Daniel Suarez is a driver of the day at Texas. The next driver of the day is William Byron, who had a weird day. I don't think he had a very fast car. Honestly, I don't think it was very fast. It was top 10, top 12 car, I believe. But he ends up spinning out in stage 2. He spins out, goes across the grass, doesn't damage the car whatsoever, but he spins out in stage 2, and he rallies all the way back for a top 10 finish to finish in 8th spot. So just another great comeback instance. So I'm just really happy for William Byron getting this finish, even though I don't think he even had an 8th place car. I honestly think it was 10th to 12th, but William Byron nonetheless gets a top 10 finish. So really happy for William Byron. And next is Bubba Wallace, who had a very topsy-turvy weekend. He ends up actually crashing his primary car in practice, spins out, car is destroyed. Team works very hard all night to prepare the backup car, so Bubba Wallace naturally has to start in the back, works his way all the way forward, and ends up with a 9th place finish. So I'm just happy for Bubba Wallace persevering, that entire 23 team persevering the way they did. Very hard and earned top 10 finish for Bubba Wallace. So just very happy for that team overall. Finally, let's end with the 12 of Ryan Blaney, who qualified 31st. He had a horrible qualifying lap, which that qualifying lap did more to hurt him than his starting position. He had more pit road woes, and it wasn't even his pit crew's fault, really. Every single time he had to come down pit road, it was either that he stalled the car 3 times or Eric Jones was sitting right in front of his pit box and he had to swerve that thing like he's never swerved a car before to get around him, losing any time he would have possibly gained and multiplying any time he already lost. He passed so many cars, had to come from the back all the way to the front, back to the front several times during this race, and I thought it was a lost cause. I thought, like, okay, he's probably going to finish around 20th, 18th spot, honestly, but with the late race caution that ensued, about 8 cars stayed out on the old tires. The rest of the field did pit. Blaney was one of them. And I think he was the last car on those old tires and manages to hold off the brand new tire frenzy that was occurring behind him and gets a 10th place finish. Just snags that top 10. So happy for Blaney overall getting a decent finish for pretty much a horrible weekend at Texas. So happy for the 12 team. Happy for Blaney. And that wraps up my drivers of the day. So now we could take a look at the race results and see where the rest of the field lined up in the Parc Ferme. Sorry, it's not F1, but lined up on pit road after the race and where they finished. So, all right, let's go ahead and take a look. Denny Hamlin ends up finishing in the 2nd spot, the lone Joe Gibbs racing car to survive the massacre that occurred, frankly. I mean, he had probably the 2nd best car out of his own team, but just the 2nd best car of his own team was probably the 2nd best car of the race. But anyways, Elliott emerged from the smoke and beats him straight up anyways. So Denny Hamlin, he definitely did his best effort to get around Chase Elliott. Had an amazing jump on that final restart, but the bottom lane is just so dominant at Texas. I mean, I didn't think at any point Hamlin was ever going to get around him. I mean, the broadcast was trying to hype up, like, oh, we might get a battle between Elliott and Hamlin. I'm like, no, it's not happening. It was never going to happen, quite frankly. It was just track position, clean air was too dominant. It was never going to happen. But Hamlin with another second place finish. Really good overall for the 11 group. And Alex Bowman gets another third place finish. Congrats to Alex Bowman bouncing back and in a big way. I mean, he was last. He was 36 in points, but he's making a run for the chase, guys. He's making a run for the chase. I'm just kidding. It's probably a lost cause to make the chase at this point, but just getting good finishes, building his confidence back up, getting that skill back is just a good thing to see. So really happy for Alex Bowman. Tyler Reddick finishes in the top 5. He was the first car on the fresh tires, I believe. He was making his way forward. He only took 2 tires, but he was making his way forward at a fast pace, crawls back to the top 5. So Reddick just finds a way to get these solid finishes. That team is just on another level right now. On another level. And Chris Buescher, the Texas native, gets a top 5 finish. Just doing what he does, just being extremely consistent, not even having a flashy day whatsoever, just kind of lurking, always lurking in the back half of the top 10. And he crashes, anything goes wrong, he's right there to pounce for a top 8, for a top 6, or even a top 5 finish like he got. Moving on now to Carson Hocevar, who backed up his win at Talladega and gets the pole. Led a handful of laps at the beginning of the race and then eventually fell back. But Hocevar, he was pretty competitive most of the day. I think he had a top 10 car for sure. Winds up with a 7th place finish. So really happy for Carson Hocevar, building on the momentum from the race win. And that's your top 10 because the rest of the guys were my drivers of the day. And let's pick up now with a couple Toyotas. Riley Herbst, who almost got a driver of the day, almost. He was an honorable mention because I think he probably had a 20th place car, but that team did a very good job at getting him the track position he needed to stay up towards the front. I mean, he was in 7th place for the longest time in stage 3. I thought he was going to finish there. Things didn't work out with the final restart and the pit stop sequence, but almost gets a top 10, 11th place finish. So really happy for Riley Herbst. That's very good to see. And Eric Jones, the stage 1 winner. I couldn't believe this. He came across the line and Mike Joy's like, and Eric Jones gets his first ever Cup Series stage win. I'm like, what? And I even Googled it. I'm like, how many stage wins does Eric Jones have in the NASCAR Cup Series? And Google was like, 0, nada. I'm like, really? Like all the Joe Gibbs racing in the 20 and never getting a stage win? That was crazy to me. But anyways, I'm getting sidetracked. So Eric Jones is a 12th place finish. Good points day for the 43 group. And then we have a couple of blue opals behind him, Brad Keselowski, Ryan Preece, and Austin Cindric. I think Brad Keselowski had the most interesting day out of those 3, finishing in 13th place. I think he had a 30th place car, I'm being honest. Like, that car was not very good, but they played tire strategy to their advantage, and it worked out, gets a top 15 finish, so that's pretty good overall. And I wanted to give a shout out to Connor Zilic. It's a 16th place finish, but I mean, any top 20 is good at this point. He's had such a horrible start to the season. I unfortunately had to give him an F in my grades, my most recent discussions video. If you haven't watched that, go watch it. It's a very good video. I enjoy those videos so much. It was fun. But anyways, Connor Zilic, I'm just happy for him getting a top 20 finish. So that's good to see. His teammate SVG was right behind him in 17th spot. And Kyle Busch and John Hunter Nemechek had a saga of their own. And I'm going to make, like I said earlier, a video on their incident in its own right, because I think it does deserve its own video. So come back to my channel soon. I will have a video up of that instance, but just throwing that out there. That was just ridiculous. Anyways, moving on now, let's talk about Chase Briscoe. Finishes 23rd. I think he had the 3rd best car of the race and just gets KO'd on pit road. I mean, just things like that can happen at any given point. They just can happen that fast, and your race is over in the blink of an eye. So just unfortunate for Chase Briscoe. Scrolling down the rest of the list here, I guess Ross Chastain, he sped on the final green flag pit stop of the race. So that's just catastrophic, especially that late in the race. Had no time to bounce back. Finishes in the 26th spot. And I want to touch on Michael McDowell. I mean, his teammates both got top 10s, and he's back in here in 27th. just irrelevant the whole day. I think I saw him maybe once all day. And why is it 27th? He's supposed to be the leader over there at Spire, and now it's Suarez. Honestly, I think it is Suarez. So Michael McDowell is kind of not a great finish at Texas Motor Speedway. And Josh Berry, man, this team is just not on a good trajectory right now. He finishes 29th. Man, even had the Worth sponsorship. This is the Worth 400, and we're finishing 29th. Man, not good overall. And let's wrap up here with the guys that had a unfortunate outing. Unfortunate outing. The last caution of the race was Corey Heim actually making a one-off start, or excuse me, one of his few starts in the 67 car for 2311 Racing. He actually led 69 laps on the day. It was purely strategy. Like, he had no shot to ever finish the stage with the win, but he did lead 69 laps straight up. He never got past, never was challenged, never was threatened. Clean air was that important, that dominant, that necessity. It was so necessary to have that to be any near competitive during this race. So Corey Heim played the cards right. Well, unfortunately, did fall victim to the turns 3 and 4 bump. Spins out, backs into the wall. Not very good overall. But he did get some valuable experience. So well done for Corey Heim. And let's touch on, finally, let's end with this. Kyle Larson has a Kyle Larson moment. I mean, he also backs it into the wall, but he backs it into the turn 2 wall all by himself, spins out. It was very reminiscent of Bubba Wallace's practice crash. Just backs in the wall, just all by himself. No contact, no nothing, just by himself. These cars were on edge the entire race. We had 4 solo spins. It was William Byron, Todd Gilliland, Ty Gibbs, and then Larson and Corey Heim. That was a lot of them. I think Ty Gibbs was actually spun out, but the other ones were all self-induced spins by themselves. So just cars on edge the entire race. Alrighty, guys, let's talk about my overall opinions of this race. I'm going to be completely honest. NASCAR must have hit the lottery ticket at some point, because this is the second week in a row where we had a overall bad race, and the finish, the winner, basically cross cancels it out. Like, we're not ever going to remember the horrible Talladega racing, the fuel saving. We're going to remember the Carson Hocevar win and a celebration. At Texas, we're not going to remember the air blocking, and the pretty much crazy. I mean, like, yes, the accidents were surprising and shocking, but those things don't need to happen to make a great race. And I think those honestly kind of hindered the race in a little bit, but it was crazy. It was chaotic, but we will remember Chase Elliott winning the race. We won't remember the completely dominating stage 2, stage 3. We will remember that. We'll remember Bell slapping the outside wall. We'll remember Logano crashing on pit lane, and we'll remember Chase Elliott winning. So if we take that at face value, I think this race was an average Texas Motor Speedway race, but it was so unpredictable, yet so predictable at the same time. We know Texas Motor Speedway is very sketchy, very on edge. Like, these next gen cars are on ice, it seems like, especially in the top lane, going over these bumps through the turns. They're just on edge. Like, we can expect the solo spins to occur, and we did get those. I mean, Kyle Larson spins out again. This is he's done this so many times in Texas. It's almost like we should expect at this point. But Larson, so talented, spins out. And Todd Gilliland, William Byron, and Corey Heim, like, they all spin out by themselves. They happen. And then the craziness on pit lane, like, who would expect that? Like, so many unexpected things happen. The leader getting taken out, Christopher Bell, like, so many unexpected things happen. Yet the finish of this race was what we probably all expected going into the race. Clean air was so dominant that you had guys that I think had no real right or reason to be up there. I mean, they were up there because they did tire strategy, and were up there because they play their cards right. But you had Brad Keselowski, who I think was a 30th place car, up there. I think Riley Herbst was a 20th place car. He was up there in the top 10. Brad Keselowski was in 3rd place at one point. I mean, if you have clean air, your car is going to be fine. I mean, you could have put Cody Ware in the top 10, and I think he would have held a top 15. That's how much clean air played a role in this race overall. And I want to harp on the first instance, before the race even started. We're at the point now, guys, where we have to prep the viewers for what we're going to see. Larry McReynolds, Fox, does a what is aero blocking? What is air blocking? We have to do that segment to prep the viewers that you're going to see cars driving in their mirror in the same lane as the guy trying to pass them, and you won't ever see the guy trying to pass them because you can just push air, reduce the downforce, and the cars never gonna have a shot. That's what we saw after all the chaos. That's what we saw at the end of the race. I mean, and is it the driver's fault? Not at all. It's not the driver's fault. It's the car's fault. But I just thought it was funny. We have to prep the viewers for what we're going to unfortunately see with all this air blocking and whatever. But that's that. Other aspects, I think the Fox broadcast was not great. I mean, there are so many instances, guys, where I think we can just up the production so much more. I mean, it's subtle little things like the camera and like who we're focusing on, what guys are doing what. Like when William Byron spun, I saw him. I saw him in the top right of my screen. I saw him literally sideways. I saw him sideways. I'm like, oh my god! And then they cut away. They cut away to cars single file. Not even a battle. They cut away, and I saw him. I saw him spinning out. I'm like, oh whoa! And they cut away. And then they don't. And then Boyer and Harvick and Joy, they don't even react to it till like 5 seconds later, and they go, oh! I saw in the top right. It was right there. I'm like, what happened? And they cut away. That's just little things they do that we can solve so easily. Just, anyways, but I'm ranting here. So that was just another instance, and I think we're lacking a bit of excitement here in the booth. Like so many crazy things happen. I think we're just lacking the overall enthusiasm again for what's happening. Like I harp on this a lot. Like when you're a commentator, I have no experience commentating. I must say that. But if I was a commentator, I want my voice because that's what we hear as race fans. We hear your voice. So we're not at the track. Some fans are at the track. They see everything happening. But for the millions of fans that are home, we're watching the race through the lens of a camera and we're getting commentary from your voice. You could see everything. They're at the track, they're at Texas Speedway, that whatever track NASCAR goes to, they could see everything. So if you see something in your heart rate spikes or your enthusiasm spikes, voice that through your voice, through the camera to the viewer at home so we can feel the same exact thing you're feeling. Do not just be so lackadaisical and be like, oh, they wrecked, or oh, spinning's like, oh, that's unfortunate. Like, just tell it as it is. Do what comes natural. I just think we can do better. Honestly, we can do better. But anyways, that's just me rambling. Overall, back to Texas Speedway race. I think it was average. The chaos did, it was crazy. A lot of stuff did happen, but again, I'm not a guy that has to have wrecks and chaos to make a good race. I think just pure racing can be the most entertaining thing for me. But that's just me. That's my overall opinions. I want to know yours down below in the comments. Please let me know what you think of the race, the controversy, the wrecks that happened, the chaos that happened, and let me know what you think of my race review and video, my takes and opinions. I would love to know your thoughts down below in the comments. And please leave a like if you made it this far in the video. It means so much to me to see you leave a like, knowing that you made it to the end of the video. You listened to all my rants and all my coverage, and it makes me so more motivated than ever to make more videos for you guys. Just one little like, it does so much to me. Anyways, but yeah, if you're new here, please subscribe. We're a community here on this channel. We're a NASCAR community. We're a racing community. So if you are in any way a motorsports fan, a NASCAR fan, this is the place to get your NASCAR motorsports content. I post race reviews for the Truck Series, the O'Reilly Series, and the Cup Series. I do the NASCAR news coverage and discussion videos All that happens right here on this channel. So one more subscriber means one more race fan joined the community. So anyways, guys, that's going to do it for me. Hope you did enjoy, and I'll leave you with this. Have a great, wonderful, and even splendid rest of your day. See ya.